Hello to our listeners. I'm Karen Salisbury,
And I'm Julie Summers.
and we are still here, still talking. We are a heartfelt podcast where two lifelong friends share the wisdom and hard earned insights that come from decades of life experience. And today, we're going to talk about self motivation and being motivated for others. So, some people wake up driven by purpose, other people wake up driven by deadlines, guilt, expectations, or fear of disappointing someone, excuse me. So, Julie, what do you got to say about that?
Well, I was telling Karen, I wake up, just give me the coffee and then I can figure out where I'm at.
Yeah, you're
So
motivated. You're motivated
coffee,
by that cup of coffee.
exactly. I'm pretty simple sometimes.
Get that day started. I
Exactly.
I know my husband's motivated by the cup of coffee too. I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, so I love this topic. Karen and oh, we've talked a long time on the subject. We have so much we want to share and um yeah, it's a really good topic, Karen.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about like what is the difference between self-motivation and what and motivated for others. And you can be one or the other, or you can have a blend. And sometimes maybe you might even change from one to the other as the years go by. I know that I've been making, changes. I started out definitely, I can remember as a child, I was very self-motivated. I did things that I did not need to have praise. In fact, I was never looking for praise. I always felt uncomfortable with praise. I was always the one like, okay, I set my goals, I had my values. I didn't need to have anybody to be accountable to. I didn't need a coach or anything like that. I was like, I just did things. I was, I can remember all the way back to even the fourth grade that I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I set out my goals, I did it. Nobody had to guide me, there was no coaching. And like I said, I didn't need to have anybody praise me. I was very self motivated. And I know that other
Yes.
individuals that I was around definitely had to have somebody, encourage them. Like they needed to have somebody that they had to be accountable to, like somebody would check on them. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with one or the other if you're self-motivated or, motivated by others. And these days I'm finding myself being more of like motivated for others. I don't know if that comes with being retired. I'm not sure, but yeah, I find myself being like, okay, let's get the day started. What do I kind of do today for other people?
And I'm laughing, but the truth is, you've always helped people, and for you to think this is new for you, it's absolutely not new for you. I started, as a young child, my mother was a single, five kids in the family, single mother. I was the middle child. Um, I always wanted to help her. I always felt good helping her. And I think for me, as I look back on that, I was very shy. I was very shy, and I felt good staying busy.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that I was doing a lot of that, not so much when I was younger, but definitely did that through my 20s and my 30s, probably right up until I hit 60. I was always staying busy, very motivated, always working. I mean, there were times I was working, four part-time jobs and going to religious study on Sunday. So I never had any downtime. It was always busy, 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 and very motivated to get certain, to accomplish certain goals, certain things that I had planned out. So yeah, when you were telling me that story about like what you were doing as a young kid, how you were always motivated to take care of things and like when you went, we talked about it before in another episode, when you had Jason, how motivated you were to, you know, get good grades and make changes in your life because now you had him. So you were motivated at a young age, you were motivated by others because you had Jason.
Yeah, I had a purpose.
Yeah.
I have to have a purpose. It's just, that's what motivates me. And it
Yeah.
comes from what can I do to help someone else? Because I always had low self-esteem and I always had low self-esteem, always had to work on that. And I felt the best when I was helping others.
Yeah. Yeah. You do have a strong core beingness of that, of helping others. And when you said that before about low self-esteem, I found that interesting when you said that because um, I never saw you as an individual that felt that way. Um, I know that through the years, I always, well, maybe because I was always praising you. I don't know.
Yeah, that too.
I was always saying, "That's my girl. Great job. You did wonderful. You can do it." I was always like cheerleading you on. So I guess I never
Certainly
saw
did.
that side. Uh,
I just
so
I always expected a lot from myself.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
would always say like, nobody has to like hit me with the bat. I used to bat on myself enough. Like
yeah,
I was my own critic in everything I
yeah.
did. Hard on myself.
Yeah. And you had mentioned, and which is important to restate, and that is having the purpose. Whether it's a self-motivation purpose for self-motivation, you set out your goals, or whether or not it's a purpose that's external, that is somebody else, doing something, accomplishing things for other people. So yeah, so a lot of self-motivation comes from doing things internally and getting things accomplished through internal efforts and dreams and desires and goals, and an external, the self motivated by others, is external, and it's doing things for other people. And it's not necessarily always doing things for them personally, but it can be doing things for yourself to make yourself better, to have a better relationship with other individuals.
It's so true. And I never had, like Karen talked about, self-motivation. I never had it. I still struggle with that. Again, I need the purpose. I need to know that I need to be doing something. And I need the structure too. I can't, if without structure, I flounder. I mean, I'm just that type of a person where Karen is not in that area.
Yeah, I think all of us, no matter which um, type of motivator you are, whether it's self-motivated or motivated by others, we do need structure. I mean, I know I'm all the time writing goals down. I write out the steps. I never leave them inside my head. I've always put things down on paper. And today, of course, putting them down in the computer in my phone. But I put them down. I put the steps out of what it is that I'm going to accomplish. I set out the goal, um, and I find my way, whatever it takes to get motivated to do that, whether it's these days, like I'll bring somebody else in to help, to um, encourage me. I do that more today than I have ever done before. Like when I was younger, it was like, hey, just leave me alone. Let me do my stuff.
Hmm.
Today, I'm
Independent.
more of like, hey, can you help me out with this?
Yeah.
Can you be accountable? Can I be accountable to you? Can you track me? Can you follow up with me? Yeah.
And also too is, I mean, like Karen and I, we have the same path as far as we were always busy, 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 busy. I mean, 24/7. I could not sit still in my own skin at all. Like I had to just go one thing. I mean, at one point I was raising the kids. I had a job and I was in school. Then I got a second job. I always had to be on. Um, it was very hard for me to pause and just relax because when I did that, and I'm just learning this really more about myself now, being alone in my apartment for the first time in my life, um, without any chaos, knock on wood, 'cause
Mm.
you know what happens. Say that. I'm knocking on wood, but I'm left with me. And it's like, okay, now I'm left with me. And because I've lived such a busy, busy life, whenever I sit and pause, I feel lazy.
Well, you're not lazy. I'm not lazy.
No, you're not lazy.
Right. So when we stop to look at things that, of what we're doing, looking at what motivates us personally, internally, self-motivated or external, yeah, we have to stop and realize, we're not being lazy when we take time out.
Exactly.
Uh,
It's important to pause,
yeah,
and just be in the moment.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I'm a work in progress when it comes to that. I'm learning all about myself, the good, bad, and the bad and the good. Kind of goes back and forth still. But at the end of the day, I was telling Karen, at the end of the day, when I take a inventory at night, and at the end of the day, when I'm laying my head on my pillow, I have to reevaluate my day. Like, where did I where did I help someone? What could I have done differently? Should I have done better? Should I let things go? So it's an automatic thing for me that I do at night. So then when I wake up after my coffee, um, then I reevaluate the night before, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
take an
how
inventory.
inventory again in the morning. So I take one at night and in the morning.
Hmm. Yeah, that's very important to do. We always should make assessments and reassess, where we're at and what we're doing, especially when it comes to, making achieving our goals, whatever they are. And I'd like to point out that one of the things about self-motivated individuals, they're the individuals, not always, but they're more of the individuals that become entrepreneurs and they have um, quite enormous projects that they put out there, and they're just always on the go. But that's also true for individuals like yourself, being motivated by others. Especially with, when you had the children at home, you're motivated to get up and get them going, have their day, be successful. That was a big project.
Oh God.
Helping them. But one of the things I know that we've talked about in the past, Julie, is that sometimes when we get pushed, and this also falls into boundaries, which we can discuss at another time about boundaries, but when we are motivated by others, but yet when we feel like we're doing too much, whether it's too much motivated by others, for others, or too much of motivated for ourselves, we get out of balance. And when we're out of balance, then we can start feeling, and everybody can relate to this, we start to feel burnout or we'll feel resentment. We might even experience anxiety, but then certainly we'll feel the loss of joy from those activities that we're doing, whether we are in the, are self motivated or motivated by others. And when we start feeling those feelings, those types, we have to stop, the pause, as you said before, the pause and uh, reassess and find our balance again so that we
It-
can find the joy.
Yeah, and it really is all about balance. I have a calendar on the wall, kind of old fashioned. It's not on my phone or anything. It's actually just a wall calendar. And I I look at it often and I try and put things on it that balance me out. Like, am I doing
Yeah,
something social? Am I helping someone out? And then of course I'm still working at my job 4 days a week. So I have that like every other day I'm working. And so I put that in there and it's like if I'm looking at that calendar and I see that it's off, like, okay, I haven't really been eating that well the last few days, or I mean, it can be anything, it can be that simple. Or have I done anything social outside of work or my chores? Balance is definitely the key, Karen.
yeah. And we have to be aware of it. And I know certainly in our conversations in the past, Julie, thank you very much. You sometimes bring that to my attention of finding the balance. You'll tell me when I've gone a little too far, and you'll say like, "Okay, Karen, you gotta pause. It's okay to take a rest." And I appreciate that.
And you do that for me when I am pausing, because I am doing better at pausing.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Karen, you get me motivated to like, well, we're doing this podcast. It's a big motivator too. It's like always recreate something. Um, I love what you've helped me with the recreate. We can recreate our life. That can be a motivation for me.
Absolutely. Anything and everything can be changed. You know, a rock can turn into sand. Um, the water, the little brook, like I use the Mississippi River. It's like I walked over the head of the Mississippi River. It is a tiny little bubble. It's a tiny little stream, and definitely one step you walk over the Mississippi River, but then it turns into this enormous river. I mean, that's a transformation that changes. No one has to stay constant. No one has to stay the same. We just have to, accept it and embrace it and let it happen and enjoy that process.
Exactly. And Karen and I were discussing a little bit too about validation.
Yes.
That's a big one. Like,
Hmm.
Karen, share your validate. Share your story about validation, what you were letting me, what we were just talking about like earlier today.
Yes. Well, one of the things is as when I was younger, I started tutoring when I was 10 years old in the fifth grade. I started tutoring math and history and science, and I tutored all the way through all my academic years, including massage school and even afterwards mentoring. And one of the biggest, I never asked, the students that I was tutoring that they had to thank me, but I got validation when their grades improved. Taking a failing student to within weeks they become a B or an A student. In fact, one student that was flunking out of massage school, I helped her tremendously. And the true validation was that she, after graduation, became an instructor at the school. So that was a big turnaround, and that was a big validation for me. And not that I always looked for it. I never looked for validations, as I mentioned before, because I'm self motivated. But it was nice to receive that. And these days, I have made some transitions. I'm now more like motivated by others. As I said, maybe in my retirement, I guess that's part of the change. So I do a lot of work for other people, like with the settlement of my mother's estate and the handling a family trust. And there's a lot of work.
Mm,
People don't realize how much work is involved in these types of positions, being a personal representative and a trustee. Um, and it's just would be nice. Not that I asked for it, but it would be like, hey, can I get a thank you from the beneficiaries? It's like just a little, hey, that was great, thanks. I've been doing it for a total of like 15 years, and I haven't got a thank you yet. I'm not depressed
yeah.
over it. I'm not disappointed over it, other than I'm like, But I know I'm doing good works. And I did get thank yous from the attorneys and the CPAs. I do get thank yous from them that they appreciate the work I've done for them. So,
Yeah,
um,
validation.
but validation is very important, and I
Yeah.
know that I've always tried, especially with children. I don't give um, I give a lot of validation to children when they're doing things, but I'm not insincere about it. I'm always genuine. If a child's done something that's not that great, I'm going to say, well, I know that you probably could have done better. Let's take a look at it. I will ask them to take a look at it. Let's see where we could have done better. And that's always a good way to help them. Not, you know, not always just giving this non-genuine um, validations of like, yeah, you did great, you did great. No, if they're not doing so great, let them know they didn't do so well, that they really could do better. So that's important.
And I'm the other, I mean, for me, like, I have to say, I want everyone to like me. I mean, I want everyone to like me.
Well, who doesn't? I don't want anybody to hate me. Same
Now,
thing. Yeah.
but I mean, again, I think for me, it's low self-esteem. I think it's directly has to do with that.
Well, that's
I
interesting.
even when I was helping my mother as a little girl, I loved it when like I felt lost within five kids. I was that middle kid, which is a whole new another story, um, another podcast. But I loved it when she talked to the relatives and said, "I don't know what I do without Julie and all that." It just I loved being validated. I loved being appreciated. I loved that I could help my mother. Like that's how I filled up. And I'm still a lot like that today. I fill up and I do like people to say thank you. Not the word, they don't have to even say the word thank you. I
Hmm.
can just see it. I can see appreciation. And it means everything to me. At
Hmm.
work, especially at work, like I can be so crazy at work, and my boss or a worker or somebody will say up, "Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate you," or "I appreciate you. Thank you for helping me out." Like that's all it takes for me. That's it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I when I was younger and stuff, I never looked for validation. And I know that when I became a massage therapist, I still didn't ask for validations. But I definitely saw it through the 27 years I've been doing massage, is that my patients, my clients definitely validated my work by always returning, not because
Mm.
they were just always hurting, but they knew that I could address whatever issues that they had going on with their bodies, and they would come in and say, okay, I got this going on or I got that going on. And they always knew too that if I didn't know what it was that was happening to them, I was very upfront frank with them and said, I don't know. Let's figure it out. I would say, okay, I'll research it, I'll look into it. I didn't hesitate to say I don't know.
Yeah.
So there was, that validation came from the repetitiveness, that they just kept coming back, which was good.
Yeah. You're
So
gifted.
yeah, yeah, because I think when I went into massage, that was one of the fields that I had for the first time. I was 40 when I went into massage, 40 years old. I think that was the first career that I ever went into where I um, had insecurities about my abilities. All the other positions I've ever had before was like, I'm trained. I'm competent, whether it was in accounting or in marketing or in human resources. I was like, okay, I'm trained. I know how to do this. No biggie. But when it came to massage, even though I went to school and I got licensed, passed the national board exam, um, I still had a little bit of that insecurity. It was like my first time experiencing that, like, I'm not sure if I'm really going to be good at this, but the validation came from the clients that, through the years kept returning. I had a very good rebook rate, what we call um, the rebooking rate when somebody, books again. And so uh, it was very good. It was very interesting to look back on that and see how that worked out.
I love that, Karen. It's funny because Karen and I were talking about our different, like Karen and I are like, kind of
Yin and
opposites
yang.
in a lot of ways, yin and yang, right? We're kind of the opposite,
Yeah.
yet coming together, like we're the same.
Yeah.
It's different paths, different journeys, but we're like the same. And we let each other, we lift each other. When I'm feeling
Yeah.
lazy, she's like, "You're not lazy." And when she's got stuff going on, I'm like, "It's okay, you're good." She doesn't, she's too tough on herself as far as her own heart. I'm like, we were talking about nurturing versus, she just didn't think she was that nurturing. I'm like, "Are you kidding?
Yeah,
You
you
were
kind of you kind you
hurt."
kind of let me have it on that one because I didn't
I
think I
kind of
was.
did. I did.
And you open my eyes on it. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I am.
You're always there to help people. And I was thinking, again, I'm always thinking, that's crazy spinning around. But
But not stinking thinking.
right, but so Karen comes from a place of she thinks with her heart. I mean, she thinks with her head first and then her heart. And me, I'm with my heart and then my head. So it's like that's why we make such a good combination because in the end,
Hmm.
we both are doing the same thing. We're trying. to be nurturing and loving and helping and lifting others up.
Yes. And that's even, part of what we're doing. Why? It's one of our motivators, right? It's one of our purposes for this podcast is to provide information to help other individuals, to let them know they're not alone, they're not the only ones, that there's more of them out there like us, like them. We're all dealing with the same stuff.
We certainly are. And, be gentle with yourself. Like in each chapter, each day, each chapter, each journey, we're in different places. Again, like Karen and I, we were both going 24/7, and now as we're getting older, we're slowing down and we're not used to it. Um,
No, not at all. And I'm sure other individuals are feeling that same if they're in that same age bracket as us, right?
right. And if we're not lazy. Karen and I,
No,
we're
we're
not
not.
lazy. You're not lazy because you're pausing. It's okay to pause,
It's okay to pause. And it's okay if you're once self-motivated and now you're motivated by others, or motivated by others and now you're self-motivated. It's okay to go back and forth. And yeah. Uh, so we have a question for you. Hey, listeners, what motivates you? What motivates you now? What motivated you in the past? And um, let us know. Give us a call, send us an email, let us know some of the stories that you have about things in the past or things that you're going through right now that motivate you.
And just be gentle with yourself. It's all a process. It's all about learning things. And yeah, we want to hear from you. We love that you're here with us. Let us know how we can help you out. You certainly help us out. Yeah, we appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like to say that when the applause fades, purpose is what stays. So
Oh,
find your purpose.
find purpose.
Absolutely.
Along with us. Thank you.
Very good. And share it, talk it, send us your story. That's how this community grows. Email us at stillherestilltalking@yahoo.com.
And thank you so much for taking the time and listening to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We appreciate you. We are still here, still talking. We're not experts, we're just experienced.
Goodbye, everyone. God bless.
Goodbye.